was a video that explains how to paint skin in 15 minutes without overcomplicating it. Well, you've come to the right place. And with this extremely humble intro, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiddo, and today I'm going to show you how you go from this to this. So without further ado, let's get cooking. Here are all the colors I used. For Caucasian skin, you need P3 Zinari Skin, P3 Scorn Flesh, P3 Midland Flesh, P3 Lyacin Flesh, and last but not least, 2 thin coats Sword-Hilt Burgundy. And the bust we are going to paint today is called Knowledge by Taro Modelmaker, and is a 1 to 10 scale, and as you can see has gorgeous details already. So let's paint the skin. Step number 1. Pro tip, wash your bust before you start painting. Otherwise, the paint can crackle off, and spoiler alert, I did not do this. And you're gonna see it throughout the video, I forgot. And it's gonna be a pain in the ass to repair. So just wash the bust before with soap and you're good to go. Step 2, priming the miniature. I went in with a dark gray, but you can also go for brown or black. Step 3, cover the face in P3 Zinari Skin. Thin it down a lot so you can add 2 or 3 thin coats without taking away any of the detail. And after a while, it should look like this. When the paint has dried completely, it is time for step number 4. Layer P3 Scorn Flesh on top. Cover the face, but leave out some of the areas that will be in the shadow, like the under eye area, for example, or below the nose. After using 2 thin coats of paint, the bust should look like this. Step 5. Layer P3 Midland Flesh on top. Again, in a thin layer, and now on top of all areas that would be touched by more light. For example, the forehead and the tip of the nose. The miniature has a lot of details in form of wrinkles, which makes highlighting a little bit easier than smooth skin, as the transitions can be a little bit harsher. This gives us the opportunity to create shadows without needing to blend too much. Apply Midland Flesh on top of the wrinkles and leave out all the gaps in between. You can also change your brush to a smaller size at this point if you want, or you feel more comfortable with it. Just try out what works best for you. After applying the 3rd color of the color palette, the bust should look like this. We have already created a super nice skin tone and texture, but the face needs a little bit more blending and a little bit more highlighting. By using the same color that we used before in a thinned down version, I am evening out the texture and transitions, and I'm already starting to blend the colors where the edges are a little bit too sharp. Step number 6, time for Leosin Flesh, our next highlight. This color is going to be placed where the light touches the skin on the highest points. And as his forehead is pretty exposed, we can go all crazy on the forehead. I'm completely leaving out the parts of the face that would not be touched by the light, like the sides of his face. And I'm only applying the highlight on the highest points, for example, on top of the wrinkles. With my brush strokes, I'm pulling the pigments towards the left-hand side, as you can see here, to initiate a little bit of a blending already. This is of course going to be cleaned up with glazes later. And again, we are only applying the brightest highlight on top of the highest points, like those wrinkles over here, on the side of his head. And this is how the model should look right now. Step number 7, my favorite part, blending. You can already see that the miniature is coming together, but the transitions are still pretty harsh. But to be honest, with this model, you could actually stop here and just leave it like that, because the way the miniature is sculpted, I think it could absolutely work with this harsh kind of transitions. And it really reminded me almost of the painting style from the TV show Arcane, which I really do love. So we could have gone very artsy here, but I decided to practice transitions, so blending it is. I used glazes, which are thinned down versions of the colors we already used. In this case, the brightest color, Leosin Flesh, and I'm pulling the pigment gently over the transitions. This is my big tip for blending. If you have a color 1 and a color 2, and you are blending with color 2, go from color 1 to color 2 by pulling the pigment from here to there. So the most pigments will land in area 2 because we are dragging them towards this direction, and that will give you a nicer and cleaner transition. Extra points if you are blending in diagonal swipes. The end result now should look like this. We could do even more blending, but I think the model works so well with this kind of like more harsh transitions. As I said, a little bit like arcane, and I really love that. Step 8. Using Leosin Flesh and Moro White in a ratio of 1:1 to add the final highlights. As you can see here, I am just adding this highlight on the tip of his nose and on top of the wrinkles, just very sparsely. Excuse my camera work here, but I went full shrimp mode. And here we go. Step 9. To make everything look cohesive and to also simulate blood flow, we are going to add a wash using 2 thin coats sword-hilt burgundy. This is really hard to pronounce. And we are watering it down until it is super liquidy. I recommend going a little bit more careful here, so you could apply another layer of wash if you wanted to intensify the look. The burgundy is going to run in all the recesses and is going to make the face look more alive. And here you can see my mistake of not washing the bust before priming, and you can see it very clearly. The top coat of the primer has already crackled off at the points where I'm holding the bust in my hand. So yeah, just a reminder again for you guys. So I'm making the mistake so you don't have to. It's not the end of the world, but it's just going to cost you a lot of time, and if you can avoid it, you should do it. Also important for the last step, if you see any pooling of the wash, just go over it with a dry brush and soak up the unnecessary wash or swipe it into the recesses. After the paint has fully dried, it should now look something like this. And here you can really see that the final wash did bring the face to life. Skin is imperfect. It has texture, it has bumps, wrinkles, veins. And we as miniature painters are allowed to showcase this with our brushes. The only thing that is missing are the eyes and the beard. For the eyes, I used Moro White and a sepia wash, Imperial Blue and Rune Shot as a highlight, as well as black for the pupil. The beard is Grey Lord, sorry, and Bane Grey layered on top of Bastion Grey. And here we go. We have created a wonderful face for a wonderful model. And see how easy it was? Just 9 little steps. But as with everything, it's just practice. And we all have a lot to learn, so off to the next project. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much to my Patreons for the ongoing support. Bless your heart, I can't thank you enough. And until then, see you in the next video. Goodbye. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen.